Let's talk about how to escape the matrix. I'm really not sure about how the Instagram algorithm is working because my feed is totally messed up with overall a different topics that nobody says. I'm still wondering how this is for other people because it's really important, right? The Instagram reels are gonna change our minds because it's going to drive our mindset, it's going to program our beliefs. So that's why I'm asking. So let's talk about the topic how to escape the matrix. It's been one of the underrated topics that nobody is interested to listen. Of course, it's a boring topic until you open your third eye, until you know what's really happening around you, until you think you're not a fool. You'd be happy to listen to this. For those who don't know, let me tell you what matrix is. Why are people telling escape the matrix, escape the rat race, understand the rabbit hole, escape the slave programs, corporate slaves, debt slaves? You can see all this. Let me show you an image. So when you see this diagram, you understand what your structure, what your status is. You might be anywhere in this hierarchy, right? Most of the population are in the lowest part of this hierarchy. That's the mass population, right? Because not everybody is rich, not everybody has the power to control. So there are workers. I'll give a small example from the corporate company itself. If there is a CEO in the company, if there are board of directors in the company, of course there should be at least one janitor in this company, right? They cannot be full of CEOs, they cannot be full of directors. That's not how the companies works. If there is a CEO, there should be a janitor. I totally understand the managements. That's how it's supposed to be, to function, to have a better functions. But why are we only talking about the organization? Why are we not talking about the janitor? Even he's a human. Even the employees are human. But the CEO doesn't care. They motivate you with a salary. They focus on company's growth. That's an entrepreneur thing. Even that's how I would think. That's totally fine. But what about the janitor? We just skip the topic because it's not related to us. But everybody who's working for the corporates are still the janitors until you realize it. If you ask me, if you still don't know what the matrix is, let me tell you. Matrix is a system designed to keep people poor, to keep people as a slave. Not everybody should be rich. That's the agenda. If everybody was rich, society will fall apart. They don't want that to happen. We could say it's to live a simple life. Of course, that's the truth, but not every product. The food industry, the pharmaceuticals, all these are corporate industries, brother. You have to perform the due diligence to know more about this rabbit hole. I will try to explain as much as I can, but I'm not good at articulation. But I'm still trying. I will try to explain this as much as I can. And elites want you to keep you distracted. If you see any great political change that is against the society, that's against the people, you will immediately see an event. If a bread and a circus is offered, people wouldn't question everything. And that is what the elites wanted. That's what the government wanted. And if you skip this part and you still work, you still feel that your comfort zone, you have a good package, you have a good family, you have everything that you want. And if you're still part of it, of course you're part of this. But if you try to escape from this alone, good for you. But you're still caught in the food industries, right? Because every product that you see is produced by them. GMO, the genetically modified food, is already started in the Western. It's gonna soon come to India. Everybody is going to be impacted with the food industries, right? When a food is impacted, of course the pharmaceuticals, of course the hospitals are going to have a good business. Question everything. That's all I would say. That's the best advice. Question everything. Ask yourself, why are we eating 3 times a day? Even if our body is meant to survive for next 5 to 10 days. There are people who go for 30 days at no food and water. But why are we still eating 3 times a day? Isn't that really concerning you? If not, then you can just skip this video. They have programmed, this could be the simple example, they have programmed you to eat 3 times a day. If you're still not questioning it, then there's a problem with you. Simple logical question. Why are we eating 3 times a day when we can go for 5 to 10 days without food, without any problem? There's a person called Edward Bernays. who invented a product to promote his company's sales. He produced some of this breakfast thing. He introduced something like breakfast, and till now it's become a propaganda that we may not be able to change, or we can't change it for the people. We can rather change ourselves, but not everybody, because even doctors believe that. Doctors don't know, they don't study the history. You might think it's a dream, but it's already a program that was designed and kept for you so that you can think it is a dream and you can go through it. I'm really concerned, and we feel sorry for the police, the army, the military men, the soldiers who are struggling to save our countries. They still got power controlled by someone else. So that's only the saddest part. And an individual cannot do anything because the power we are talking about is totally insane. Only the democracy can save them, but it's going to take a lot of time for people to understand this. If you would still like to know more about how to escape the matrix, of course I'll be a great friend of you to have a discussion on this topic. That's why I've created a company called Wired in Mind Rewards. Anybody can join this to have a better conversation, a great mindset to keep you successful and growth, and also maintain your health and wealth. Goodbye for now.